problem with the Civil Rights Act is instead of giving you discourse, people have to shut up. In a way, it's because in a way, it's good to get plus the people are box wide open.
Welcome. Good morning. Bienvenido. My name is Lori Douglas, and I am, my pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm your worship associate today for this Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County. Our theme this month is physical, mental, and social challenges. I personally have struggled with mental, substance abuse, and physical issues. As you've heard, we begin our service each week by sending an invitation to gather together, even as we are scattered in many places, and whether our sacred space be virtual or live. This service is being broadcast on YouTube and will be available as a recording on the UUFCC YouTube channel after the service. Today, we thank those who work hard behind the scenes to make this service possible. The teams for the office, I see Sandy over there, yay. The decorating, raise your hands, decorators, yes. Laura and Sue and others, yes. Grounds, cleaning. Special thanks this week to Ryan R. and Ryan S., who've got rid of the bugs in the light fixtures. Yay! And Ryan R., who mowed our overgrown property. I hope you get a chance to look at it over there. All that crazy stuff is gone, and we can find the trees now. Yay! Also, let's thank our greeters, our kitchen folks, and our goodie providers. We also thank our tech team, and Tom, who's here today, and supporting our technology, and those who provide our music, Janet and the choir, and Ryan S., our pianist. Master of all trades, mower and pianist, wow. Today's service will touch on some sensitive issues. If you feel you need to take some space, you're welcome to take it. If you'd like to talk to someone after the service, please reach out, and you can always talk to me. Thank you. Our special guest today for our second helping is Kelly Palmerville, who will be presenting Charlotte Behavioral Health Care. Whatever your faith, beliefs, or the country of your heritage, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whomever you love, you're welcome here. And whether you entered on little feet, or walked in briskly, or rolled or ambled in, you are welcome here. Whether you are relatively new to our community, or you've been here for centuries, you're welcome here. We're glad you chose this congregation as your place for community today. If you're new here, we'd ask you to please stand or wave and state your first names and where you're from so that we may welcome you. Go ahead, yes. Okay, we'll start in the back. Hi, can you stand up and tell us your first names and where you're from?
Yes, Nancy from Venice, Anna from Venice, Paula from Venice,
Welcome. Welcome. Infiltrate, all right. We love infiltrators. Next, we have, yes, Kelly. Hi. Hey, Ann. And Brian. Yay, all right. Very good. Anyone else? All right. If you'd like to learn more about our fellowship, you know where to come. But you already have a fellowship at Venice, folks, so I won't try to poach you guys. And Kelly and Brian, welcome. We will now have a call and response. And I've asked Ryan and Betty to join me here up front, if you will. Ryan and Betty, there we go. This call and response is by Reverend Joan Javier Duval, who serves as minister of the UU Church of Montpelier, Vermont. You folks, here, come on around here. You can read mine when it's up here. You folks will lead us with the words on your order of service a little lower down, and then the three of us are going to respond. There we go. There you go. So first of all, congregation, you start off. You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether tears have fallen from your eyes this past week or gleeful laughter has spilled out of your smiling mouth,
you are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether you are feeling brave or brokenhearted, defiant or defeated, fearsome or fearful,
you are beloved and welcome here.
Whether you have untold stories buried deep inside or stories that have been forced beyond the edges of comfort,
you are beloved and welcome here. Whether you have made promises, broken promises, or renewing your promises,
you are beloved and you are welcome here.
whatever is in your heart, however it is with your soul in this moment,
you are beloved and
you are welcome
welcome
here. In this space of welcome and acceptance, commitment and recommitment, of covenant and connection, let us worship together. Thank you. We'll now have the prelude by Ryan S. you, Ryan. Beautiful. We'll now open this sacred space by turning our attention to the chalice to the words by Cynthia Landrum. Flame of our faith, call us into the community of love and justice this morning and every morning. Now, while Doug will light our chalice here in the sanctuary, you're lighting yours at home. Please join me in reciting our affirmation. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our aspiration, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another. Thank you, Doug. Today, we'll be talking about some of the invisible challenges or disabilities that exist. An invisible disability is a physical, mental, or neurological condition that is not visible from the outside, yet can limit or challenge a person's movements, senses, or activities. According to the CDC, 61 million adults, or 1 in 4, across the U.S. identify as having a disability of some kind, and about 10% of those are invisible disabilities. This term has become widely used by many disability and ableism organizations and activists. Today, we will focus on mental, emotional, and substance abuse challenges. Many of us have struggled or continue to struggle with these challenges. I'm going to ask you here to reach inside a little bit. Please raise your hand if you, a close friend, or a family member have experienced depression that has interfered with regular function. Look around. That's a lot of folks. Okay. Next, raise your hand if anxiety has interfered with life activities of you or somebody you know. Okay. Lots of people. Raise your hand now if you or someone you know closely has had an addiction, substance abuse, or eating disorder. Still, lots of numbers. Okay. Please raise your hand if you or someone close to you has had severe mood swings, hallucinations, troubling thoughts, and or behaviors of hurting oneself or someone else, including suicide or homicide. Yep. And how about those who've experienced or had someone close dealing with post-traumatic stress? Thank you. We certainly saw that over the fireworks, too, as a reminder. Hope you got a chance to look around. Now we are truly starting to understand and feel the impact on our community. Most everybody raised their hands several times in this group, and we know in our lives around us. Being that we can't have Prozac in our water supply, we find other ways to get help. Professional help, as Kelly will discuss, various assists such as meditation that Ryan will discuss later on. And shortly the choir will be singing. Several of us in the choir get great comfort and soothing and other things from being involved in music. And today our hymn, 1012, and the Teal hymnal, When I Am Frightened, suggest other ways that we can help ourselves and each other. So please join us with the choir in singing number 1012. When I Am Frightened, in the Teal hymn. We have a long tradition at UUFCC of sharing our joys, sorrows, and life milestones by entering them into the Book of Life. These messages can be written in the red book at the back of the sanctuary, which Susie's bringing forward, and those at home are welcome to enter your entries into the Book of Life at UUFCC.org. Messages should be sent no later than Saturday prior to the service. All entries will be read by the worship associate on Sunday morning and entered into the red book after the service. Today, we have a few things happening. First of all, we have a very happy entry, which is we're thankful for Marty and Norma being back from their hospital stays and their illnesses. Thank goodness. Yay. And somebody else wrote another thank you to Ryan for mowing. Thank you to Goodrun M. for donating the wheelchair for George. Yay. Here's another entry from Peggy Dawn. We are releasing the remaining ashes of my stepdaughter today. She would have been 66 tomorrow. Prayers are requested. Also, Janet has an entry. In my medical journey to seek treatment and a permanent solution to my hand tremors, I was recently accepted as a candidate to a Parkinson's disease study group. I would greatly appreciate any positive thoughts and energy as I continue to explore my best options for a tremor-free life. I'm humbled by the support and compassion demonstrated by my UU family. Next, another a good thing happening. Gurio is out of the hospital and recovering from his cardiac arrest in Key West with his wife, Christina. That's a great way to recover, isn't it? Wow. And another one, Mary Lou had a severe bicycle accident and is recovering from that and could use cards. So we'll send great positive intentions for Mary Lou. All right. We will now ask Ryan to come forth and share a meditation with us.
So Lori asked me to lead a meditation. The thought was research is showing that meditation is very beneficial to mental health. There are many kinds of meditation, so there isn't one that I would choose for mental health. A single-pointed meditation is good for anxiety. Body scan meditation is good for physical complaints. And what I'm doing today, which is what Reverend Ann Barker mentioned, is the metta or loving kindness meditation, which is helpful for people maybe affective disorders or trauma, hard feelings about something. But I heard Ann Barker talking about it, and I thought that would be perfect. Many people think that meditation is just sitting quietly like you're in detention. That's not what I'm going to put you through. I was not a fan of detention. So let's try something different. While I'm saying the words, mentally say them with me, but not out loud. You may try envisioning different things. When I ask you to think of yourself, maybe think of a warm glow coming from the heart. When I'm asking you to think of someone that you love or has been helpful to you, imagine that glow extending to them. And then also, when I ask you to think of someone that has hurt you, envision that. And then it will end with all sentient beings. Imagine that glow going out into the globe, the universe. So first, I ask you to sit comfortably. You can try with your back in a natural upright posture, legs uncrossed, since we're in chairs, feet flat on the floor, one hand resting in the other hand on your lap. If that's comfortable, great. If you're not comfortable with that, get comfortable. Whatever is comfortable. So when I ring the bell, first with a half tone, then with a full tone. When you hear the full tone, I'll ask you to take 3 mindful breaths. Some ways to help you with that is feel the air pass the tip of your nose, in and out. Or you could maybe feel the air as it flows by your diaphragm. And then as you breathe and you feel safe and comfortable, allow your eyes to close. Firstly, speak these words mentally to yourself as I read them aloud. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. Now think of someone that you love or has been helpful to you. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. Now think of someone that has hurt you or you're not getting along with. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. Now thinking of all sentient beings. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole. I will again ring the mindfulness bell, and I will ask you to take 3 more deep, mindful breaths, and then Lori will come back up.
Thank you, Ryan. It's wonderful. All right, I'd now like to introduce, now that we're all calm and ready for you, introduce Kelly Palmerville from Charlotte Behavioral Health.
Okay, here we go. Thank you. So yeah, I'm Kelly Pomerville. I'm with Charlotte Behavioral Healthcare. I've been there for about 7 years. I'm the marketing director there. And I thank you for asking me to come speak. As you know, mental health has been in the forefront of a lot of talks lately because of COVID and the isolation that people went through during that time period. And then we have we had Hurricane Ian come through, which further exacerbated our mental health. And it is shown, there's statistics show that there is, after a catastrophic event, which a hurricane is one of them, suicides tend to go up by 33%. So we're experiencing that in the community. We're dealing with that. And so mental health is really, really important. And I have a slideshow that we're going to go. How many of you know, have you heard of Charlotte Behavioral Healthcare? Okay, so we're the area's largest nonprofit provider of mental health and recovery, substance use, substance disorders. And we have where we have 15 acres in Punta Gorda, and we have 40 acres. We're developed on about 15 of them. We also have an office at the Family Services Center in Port Charlotte, and we have an office in DeSoto as well. So we have about 250 employees, so we're a larger organization. One of the things that we pride ourselves on is that we don't want anyone to go without the mental health care they need because of lack of funds to pay for it. So we offer all of our services on a sliding scale. You can go into a detox center and pay $21 a day. So, it's very affordable, very cheap. Therapy sessions can cost as little as $1 a visit. So everything we do, like I said, we don't want finances to be a barrier to keeping people mentally and mentally sound and get the help they deserve. So I'm trying to I'm sorry, I'm trying to think because I relied on my slideshow. Okay, that's okay. So I'll just kind of talk. We offer a lot of services at Charlotte Behavioral Healthcare, and I'll go over several of them when the slideshow comes up to help me remember. I suffer from panic disorder, so it's a miracle that I'm up here speaking in front of you, but that's because I get the mental health care I deserve, so thank you. But anyway, so I'm sorry. Huh? Yeah, so we offer a ton of services, and we offer to all age groups as well. We see about 13,000 people a year, and of those 13,000, about 3,000 are children. So we see everyone on the spectrum. We don't do so much of the geriatric work. That's more for Riverside Behavioral, which is part of the hospital, and they specialize in that. So the geriatric and meaning, meaning Alzheimer's and things like that. So, but we do offer services to all age groups. Yay! And we have different programs. One of the I'll talk about this program now because this one is one of the newest programs. Sheriff Permel, who is very, very, very involved in substance use and mental health. He has started so many programs that really help our community. One of the programs he started was the Sheriff's Drug Recovery Initiative, where any person who is using drugs but wants to stop can bring a use amount of drugs into the sheriff's office or call them in, and what the sheriff will do will pick them up. They won't be sent to jail or anything. They'll be taken directly to Charlotte Behavioral Healthcare, where they'll get free detox and recovery. So that was very, very important to him. He doesn't believe that people with mental health issues or substance use issues belong in a jail where they're not getting help, right? So we'll get them free free services and help them get back on track. He also started another new program, which just started up about 6 months ago, is the IRIS program. And what it does, if the sheriff's department gets a mental health call saying, I'm worried about my brother here, he's not acting right, I'm afraid he's going to hurt himself or hurt me, they'll take not only a sheriff's department, a plainclothes sheriff's officer will go, but also a therapist from Charlotte Behavioral Health Care will go. And so it's a co-responding unit. And so they're able to deal with the mental health issues, and then the mental health clinician there can say, you're fine, you don't have anything to worry about, or no, we need to take this person into the crisis unit because I am afraid that they may harm themselves or someone else. So it's been hugely successful. We're doubling the amount of people we have in it because it's been so successful. So we're ramping that up now. So that's another exciting thing. Okay, you can go to the next slide. So, so COVID in our community. Local overdoses and overdose deaths have trended upward. During 2021, we had more deaths from overdose in 1 year than we had in 4 years prior combined. So that was a huge, and we saw that in Charlotte County, but it was nationwide. So that was very, very critical. We have increased levels of acuity in mental health systems, of course, or mental health of course, because people were isolating and they weren't getting out as much. There's so much stress going on because you don't know what's going to come next. So mental health was huge during COVID and continues now because of everything, what's coming next. So that was huge, and that's, like I said, is coming in. So we've had an increased demand for adult services, and as I say, after Hurricane Ian, suicide rates typically go up about 38%. Next slide. So that's why is behavioral health really important in our community? Because the cost of not addressing behavioral health is tragic. Like I said, the overdose deaths were up. We've seen an increase in services since COVID. We started offering telehealth services when COVID started because people weren't wanting to come in. So we jumped 3,000% in our teleservices after COVID started. So on our campus in Punta Gorda, we have, like I said, we're situated on 40 acres. We're developed on 15. Not only do we offer mental health counseling, we offer medication services should people need medications to help stabilize their mental health. We have a crisis center. Does anybody know what a crisis center does? I know Ryan does because we were talking about that. Yeah, a crisis center is where people go because they're in an acute crisis. So they're either they're going to be a harm to themselves, they could be a fear of harming others, or they could just be so emotionally, mentally, or their use of substance use has gone so much that they're not taking care of themselves properly. So people go there, they're Baker acted or Marchman acted. Baker acted is for mental health crisis, and a Marchman Act is for substance use crisis. And they're put there for 72 hours on a hold, so they're basically all their rights are taken away, which is really bad, but you need to do that. If a person's going to kill themselves, you want to be able to help them, and you need to do that. Take away basically their rights and put them in a safe place and get them the counseling and the treatment they need, and then they're released after that. And then they have a continuation of services. Like, you may need to, I want you to go to mental health counseling, I want you to go to substance use counseling, and you need to go to detox. They'll set up a whole system for them after that. Okay, so next slide. Yes, we do offer adult and child outpatient counseling services. At our Punta Gorda campus also, we have a recovery center, which is where people go if they it's a 28-day stay residential recovery center. So people go there and they stay for 28 days and they get residential treatment. We also have 7-day detox services there. And we have a share spot, which is where it's a drop-in center for people with mental health issues. And it's from 10 to 2 on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And people who have severe, persistent mental health illnesses go there, and they socialize with other people who are in the same boat, and they kind of share the way they deal with things. You know, they teach them music therapy, they do art therapy, they teach them how to socialize and and properly interact with other people. And it's a peer-run program. A lot of programs that we offer are peer-run programs, meaning that they're run by people who have the same illnesses, they're bipolar or they deal with depression, so that they can effectively talk to someone else. Look, I know what you're going through. I've been there. This is how I deal with it, And evidence-based peer-run programs are very evidence-based and very, they're shown to be very, very effective in mental health. So we do offer case management services. You can do the next slide. If case management, it will help people like, if we can't offer you need food. Well, we can't get food, but here, let me hook you up with Harry Chapin Food Bank, and we'll help get you food there. If you need housing, we'll hook you up with Habitat for Humanity. And so they kind of take the person and do a whole center of care around every single person. So we have case management that does that. We also offer, teleservices, like I said, next slide, for both mental health and case management, medication management. Our community action team, this is where the kids used to, back when, maybe 15 years ago, we had a state hospital out in Arcadia. Does anyone remember that? It was a state mental hospital. Then they took it down, right? So we no longer have that. So these kids that have severe behavioral health issues, normally they would be sent to a state hospital. These are kids who are completely taken out of school over and over. Most of the time, the stories I hear, their parents sleep in the bedroom with all their kids and the doors locked. They have all the knives hidden because they're afraid of their child. So those kids would normally be sent away to a state hospital. We don't have that, and we don't want them to be sent away to another state hospital and taken away from their family. So the CAP program has a doctor. It's a wraparound program, and each child gets a doctor, a nurse, a therapist, and like a big brother type, big sister, a mentor, that go into the home and work with the whole family to get so the whole family knows how to deal properly with the child's behavioral issues. And this is totally research based. When we started the program, we did not have funding for it. About 10 years ago, we went to the state, or no, not 10 years, about 6 years ago, we went to the state and said, we really need funding for this program. We want to keep the kids in their home, right? We want to keep them with their parents. And so we went to the state. We now have a reoccurring funds, but I'll tell you, this program is 99% effective in keeping kids in the home. So they're not sent elsewhere. So I love this program. And we have programs like this for adults as well. We have a FACT program for adults where adults have substance use issues and they're at risk of their child be taken from the home. So we have the wraparound approach again, and they go in and they help keep the kids in the home or get the kids back into the home by dealing with the parents' substance use issues and mental health issues and that type of thing. So the whole goal is to keep families together. Okay, next slide. And I love that little kitty cat. Does anybody have any questions so far? Yeah. We don't have a waiting list. Now for the recovery center, there is sometimes. No, there's no waiting list. Sometimes it might take you a couple of weeks to get in, depending upon if you're wanting in-person telehealth, what insurance you have, because some providers only accept certain types of insurance. So that can take that into effect. But we also offer trauma therapy. So people, people who have PTSD, right? I have seen EMDR in person. I've experienced it. I've gone through EMDR myself. But EMDR is the A-level treatment for trauma therapy. So there was a woman who I spoke with, we did a story on for the newspaper, who, as a child, her parents would always throw boiling water on her. And when they got mad at her, that was their punishment. So she could never be around boiling water, make spaghetti for her kids. She couldn't even hear it. She couldn't be in the same room. And EMDR therapy, it's eye movement desensitization and reprogramming. So what it does is the therapist is talking to you, and it's a simple thing. It's a light that just goes back and forth, and you watch the light, and you think of that horrible memory, but they take you away from it. The therapist takes you away from it, so you're not in that moment and experiencing it. But then through the light, it's something, I don't know how it works. I'm not a therapist. I'm just marketing. But it goes back and forth, and it takes that trauma and makes it distant, so it doesn't affect you the way it did. This woman, and for me, when I went through EMDR, it wasn't a huge trauma for me, so it only took me a couple of sessions. But this woman went through 6 months of EMDR, and now she makes spaghetti for her kids. She boils water. No longer affects her whatsoever. And so that, if you know anyone who's going through, I always recommend it for trauma, any type of trauma. EMDR, like I said, it's an A-level treatment. It's evidence-based. It's known. It's great. We also offer a Seeking Safety program, which is another great program. I know EMDR is just fabulous. I've heard it's blown up all over the place. So, next slide. Therapeutic family care. So what happens when my grandmother, when a woman, let's say, not my grandmother, but she has no family, she's in her 80s, and she's not mentally capable of taking care of herself, but again, don't want to send them to a mental health facility. Well, they'll be locked in a mental hospital. So what do? We have families who will come in and they adopt single older people in the community, take them into their house, and they basically become part of their family. They go on vacations with them. They attend Sundays church with them. The parents take them to all their activities. Anything they would do, go to the park together. And so they live as a part of that person's family until they're no longer with us. And then they adopt another person and bring them into their home and do the same thing. So they actually live with this adoptive family. It's kind of like foster care for adults with mental illness. And that's another program we offer. And that's hugely successful. And it's inspiring to hear when they come and talk about their families and all that. It's great stories. Next slide. We have a bunch of family and safety prevention programs, like I was talking about, the FACT team and the FIZ FACT. Those are all for adults. The family intensive treatment team, again, keeping the family together, working with the whole family. We have our Healthy Start program, which works with young mothers who are having kids who really don't have any parenting experience. So we're helping them get on the right track, helping them with their behavioral health issues and mental health issues so that they're stable for their kids and bringing up great kids and families. We teach parenting classes, do nurturing parenting groups. Next slide. So like I said, we offer things on a continuum from, childhood to adult. We've had kids in our crisis unit as young as 4 years old, which is sad to think that a child at 4 is suicidal. We also offer anger management and batterers intervention programs, and these programs help people if they're in a battering situation, the offender can come in, they'll get treatment. It's just working through those issues. Why do you react that way? When you get angry, why do you feel like you have to hit? What are some more responsible ways to handle those emotions? Next slide. we offer over 25 different programs. So, I mean, when I talk about, oh, these are some of the programs we offer, really, we offer 25 different mental health and substance use programs. We also offer court programs, drug court, mental health court. So if a nonviolent offender does something that might bring them into jail, and they say, well, it's because of my mental health issue. She didn't really realize what she was doing. My daughter didn't realize that, it's because she's dealing with all these other issues. What they can do is the judge will say, okay, I'm going to send you in an intense program. They go in every single day for 2 weeks, and then it continues for I think 6 months, and then they don't go to jail. They get treatment, and they're get to go home, and they have all their issues taken care of. So I was just given the minute. So anyway, if you have any questions, feel free. Yes.
I practice house call family medicine around the Tampa Bay region, and I actually am about to take back one of my group homes that's in Port Charlotte now. I was in Sarasota County, now it's in Charlotte. But the problem that I've had in both Manatee and Sarasota County is that law enforcement does not want a Baker Act ever. They will not. I mean, the only time I got a Baker Act successfully in Manatee County was when I had a patient threaten to kill the sheriff's deputy, and then the Baker Act. But does your therapist that comes on site with the plain clothes, they have the capability to come
Yes.
on the scene and Baker Act?
Yeah, they can Baker Act, and they will if they.
And then my other question for you is the elderly adult foster care. Obviously, I'm telling you, I'm doing group homes, and my facility has 23 in their facility, but are those families not that I'm just curious, do they get compensation from something for,
Yes.
so it's like the group home scenario where they get compensation?
They get compensated for bringing someone in because they share their meals, they give them a place to live, all that. So yes, they are compensated for that. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me afterward.
Thank you, Kelly. That's a fantastic amount of services that you folks do. It's really incredible. I'm happy to say that Bill W., one of our former members who since deceased, was part of the founding of that organization. So it's pretty exciting to see how far it's come. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Now, if you please stand and join with the choir. We are going to sing number 1020 in the Teal Hymnal. that song. It's perfect for this topic, too. We now move to our offering. Your generosity and support are what continues the health and future of this fellowship. You may contribute by pledge or donation here or online. You can drop your donation in the baskets that are coming around and be passed by the greeters, or mail checks, or drop them in our mailbox, or call the office for other arrangements. We also accept donations through the Venmo app, and payments there can be made to UUFCC offering. Today is our second Sunday of the month when we give our second helping offering to a worthy cause. So they'll be coming around again with a separate basket, and that basket will be, the cause was selected by the Social Justice Committee, and today it goes to Charlotte Behavioral Health. Yes. Hey. Your generosity is always appreciated. And if this is your first time here, do not feel obligated to give. Your presence is our gift. Number 402 in the gray hymnal. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. Sit. I believe the second basket's coming around here. Yes. Thank you again, Kelly. That was an excellent discussion of what you folks are doing. It's quite a service for the community. I worked in behavioral health for years, and the things that you offer are so advanced now. It's wonderful. It really is. It's great. Thank you. We now have our Life of the Community, the events and exciting things that we are doing these days. Remember to check your weekly UUFCC updates. Thank you, Sandy, for putting those out. And they include a calendar and links to the things that are going on here. You also make sure if you get a chance to see our website, because that's continually updated by Laura L., there you are, and Laura Anderson, who's way up north somewhere, and in the woods, I think in the mountains or something.
Oh, west.
Yeah, out west, yeah. Anyway, the two of them do a great job updating this website, and it's quite the thing to see. Additionally, if you'd like fellowship events, you can do things like sign a card up there. I've got one of those here, and put things in Book of Life again to send them so we can read them on Sunday. So today, we're going to have a membership celebration next Sunday. So if anyone is considering this, please see Dennis or myself. PFLAG Port Charlotte is happy to announce their first official support meeting will be Monday, August 21st at 6 p.m. on the porch here. Another one, Ted, you want to come up while I read this one? You're also invited to join Rob Mills tomorrow, this Monday, from the Peace River Auto Band Society. He'll be here at 9-ish in the morning, along with Laura L., to discuss native plants we can consider to improve our street side landscaping. Ted.
I'd like to remind you that today is the monthly meeting of the Social Justice Committee, and we have guests from the Venice congregation to join us because they're hoping to cooperate together on various activities in the future. Among them, something to address the book banning situation in our state, the problem that the immigrants are having, those that are documented or not documented, working in Immokalee under very difficult circumstances, the state is introducing issues that will make it even more difficult for those people. And we want to go there in September with the group to try to give a sign of our support for the people and the difficulties that they have to overcome. So we hope that you will attend the meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. Yes, this is so very important. We've already seen the impact in our state from these ugly, ugly, and horrible things that are being passed. And thanks to you folks from Venice for coming up, and it'll be great to join forces on these things. Wow. Another announcement. There's increased interest in having an informal open mic night here, like music, stand-up, poetry, impromptu readings, and so forth. Karaoke, who knows? Tentative date is the 29th of July, the last Saturday of the month. Stay tuned. And let's see. Okay, that's that. Yay. We now have our closing words. These are by Barbara Myers, Reverend Barbara Myers. She's a UU community minister whose ministry focuses on mental health issues. It's from the book she wrote called Held, Showing Up for Each Other's Mental Health. Dr. Mark Raggins is a staff psychiatrist at The Village, an integrated service agency in Long Beach, California, that is renowned for its success treating difficult psychiatric cases often involving homelessness, schizophrenia, substance abuse. He says, when I ask psychiatric patients who have done well and what I did that was helpful to them, they almost always recount some moment of human connectedness. It was when you hugged me, and I could tell you knew how much it pained me to have my child taken away. It was when you believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself. It was when you lent me $5 even though you weren't supposed to. It was when you drove me home from the hospital in your car even though I was smelly. It was when I knew you really cared and wouldn't give up on me. In other words, it was when they were the recipient of an act of human kindness or when someone believed in them. These moments are what help in healing. Here is where the faith community comes in. People of faith are experts in human kindness. We can believe in people. We can see something inside them that they aren't able to see themselves. We can give acceptance and love even when an illness is untreated or a person feels hopeless. And those are often central factors in recovery. We'll now extinguish the chalice, but not the light of hope, the fire of commitment, or the warmth of community. Thank you, Doug. So we're ready for our final hymn in the number 1057 in the Teal hymnal. I leave you with these words of Tim Haley. We walk this earth but a brief moment in time. Amid our suffering and pain, however great or small, let us continue to learn how to celebrate life. Let us continue to grow in our capacity to love ourselves and each other. And let us continue to move forward toward the goal of a just world community. Go this day in a renewed spirit of peace and hope, and with the wisdom to greet the new world and the new week. Please join us in number 1057, Go Lift It Up. Thank you. And time to wake up your phones.
And the on that.